When you hear natural approaches to menopause, what do you think of? Probably things like ashwagandha, wild yam, maybe even mushrooms. You think of herbal remedies to throw at the symptoms. But no, that's not what we're talking about here today. Today, we are talking about addressing the whole person because you are a whole person. So stick around because we're going through 6 steps to manage menopause totally naturally while addressing you and treating you as the whole person that you are. Step 1, deep assessment. You don't want to just jump right in and start trying things. You really want to do a deep assessment of your life, of the way that you live, of what's happening during your menopause experience. What are the effects that you're experiencing? When do they happen? What kind of activities are you doing? What foods are you eating? What thoughts are you having? Yes, we even go so deep as that. What kind of personal care products do you use? What kind of cleaning products do you use? What kind of environment are you in on day to day? What's your day to day look like? What's your routine? How much exercise are you getting? What kind of emotions are you experiencing? When I work with my clients, I go really deep into all of these aspects. We get down to a granular understanding of what your life is like. So I don't just say, hey, you should try this, you should try that, without understanding who you are as a person, what your life is like, what's really affecting all of this, and how menopause is affecting you. There's no cookie cutter solution that works for everybody. So we really need an understanding of you, who you are as a person, how you live your life, what your priorities are, what your day-to-day looks like. It might not be ideal, but we're looking at things that get in the way of the ideal so we can move you to that. Without a deep understanding of who you are and what your life is like, how menopause is affecting you, and what kinds of things might be impacting the type of effects that menopause is having on you, without that understanding, we're really just throwing spaghetti at the wall and playing guessing games. And I think you've done enough of that, don't you? So if you're not sure where to start with that, I've given you some ideas, but I have a PDF that you can download that gives you a list of questions to start doing that deep assessment on your own. Step 2, vision clarity. Not vision with your eyes, but vision for your future. What do you want it to look like? What do you want your life to look like? What kind of goals do you have for your life? And maybe you're suffering from menopause so much that you haven't even thought about that. I get it. That's okay. But we're not going to skip this part because it's important to work in your ultimate dreams and goals into your holistic, whole person menopause plan. I know what you might want to do right now is just get out of crisis mode, and we'll do that. And you can actually flip these steps around a little bit if you want to. Save this one. Don't skip it completely, but you don't have to do it right away if all you want to do is get out of crisis mode right now. But don't put it off for too long because it's really important to factor in what kind of things you want to do with your future. What kind of adventures do you want to have? What do you want the rest of your life to look like? What's on your bucket list? What are some things that you've always thought about doing, but you just never got around to it? What do you want your day-to-day to look like? Again, I have a template for you. The link is in the description. Step 3, trigger identification. Now, this is where we start getting you out of crisis mode. So if you want to skip to this step, go ahead, but go back to step 2. Do step 1 no matter what. If you want to flip step 3 and step 2 around, that's cool. You can do that. So this is trigger identification. In step 1, you looked at what your life looks like. So you might have started to get an idea of what kind of things in your life might be triggering the most harsh menopause effects that you're experiencing. But in step 3, that's where you want to really get down to the nitty-gritty and figure out what external effects or even internal effects might be triggering the worst menopause effects. I don't like to call them symptoms because I don't like to think of menopause as a disease. It's not. It's a natural part of life. So I call it effects instead. So you might notice me doing that. And yeah, sometimes I might call it a symptom, but really a symptom is associated with a disease, and menopause is not a disease. It's a natural part of life. It's a natural progression. And yes, there are some negative effects that we experience. We want to mitigate those. Look at what triggers them. Maybe it's interactions with certain people. Maybe it's stress at work. Maybe it's stress at home. Maybe it's thoughts you start to have, and maybe those thoughts are triggered by something that's going on in your life. There's an infinite number of triggers that could be possible. Could be foods, like for example, if I drink red wine, I might, like some women cannot drink red wine anymore. They'll get a hot flash. But I'm at the point where I might get like a little bit of a warm flash occasionally if I drink red wine. Usually I can do it without any issues because I've used these tools to address it. That's the third step, is trigger identification. And yep, I have some guidance for you in the PDF if you want to download it. Step 4, nervous system regulation. Now, this is where we get into the real nitty gritty, the stuff that actually makes you feel better. It helps you prevent the negative effects as you start using these tools and processing. So, this is things like trauma release, mindset work, emotional processing. I have some neurosomatic tools and practices that I use. I use different types of meditation and mindfulness. So, this is a whole toolkit that can help you feel better, start calming that nervous system, bringing everything into better balance, and you'll start to notice that the effects are minimized, those negative effects that you don't like. Maybe you have brain fog or sleep issues, anxiety, depression, irritation, even mental rage. When you start to address your nervous system and you learn how to speak to it and listen to it and give it what it needs, it will start to calm down more and you will feel better. Step number 5 to managing menopause naturally as a whole person is environmental optimization. What do I mean by that? Environmental optimization. Well, here's the deal. There are so many factors that can disrupt your endocrine system, which disrupts your hormone balance. It's not just about menopause affecting it, it's about these external environmental factors affecting your hormone balance. Everything from the food you eat, to the personal care products you use, to the cleaning products that you use. Most of these things have ingredients that can disrupt your endocrine system and cause problems, and it can make those negative effects of menopause worse. For example, in your food, we have the food dyes, additives, preservatives, coloring, and just those ultra processed foods, sugar, ingredients that cause inflammation on top of that. Take a deep dive and look at the foods you're eating. Learn how to read labels. Look at the personal care products you're using. Even those ones that say natural, they might be using some natural ingredients, but that doesn't mean that they're not using the questionable or harmful ingredients. Years ago, I stopped wearing makeup because I wanted to stay away from the chemicals, and I was looking actively for cosmetics that I could use that were all natural. And people would refer me to somebody. Oh, talk to so and so. She sells this all natural botanical line. And I would look deeper into the ingredients list. Yes, they did use natural botanicals, but they also used these questionable ingredients that are not even allowed in some places in the world. And I just decided that it was easier to stop wearing makeup. And I'll tell you what, I love it. I feel freer. You know, it might not look the way you're used to seeing, and it did take a little bit of getting used to at first, but now it feels natural and I'm comfortable with it. And you know, the last time I wore makeup was on Halloween, like, so it's been almost a year now. It's all what we get used to. So I'd like to normalize that a little more so we can avoid those chemicals, you know, and if you must wear makeup, find the least harmful one you possibly can. Oh, I tried those natural ones too, and most of the really natural ones that didn't have any harmful ingredients, they just didn't stay on. It wasn't worth it. I went the natural route. That was my decision, and I like it. I use a lot of natural cleaning products. You can do a lot with vinegar and baking soda. Take a look in your cupboards and your pantry and see what the ingredients are really doing. There is a website called EWG, Environmental Working Group, that will help you, guide you, and you can look up ingredients there, and it will give you an idea. If there's a lot of data on it, it will give you an idea. If there's no data on it, it will give you an idea what kind of issues it could be causing. I'll put the link for that too in the description. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. It's just what I used to start learning about this years and years ago. Step number 6, sustainable integration. That sounds really fancy and technical, right? Well, it's not. It's really just about creating daily habits so that the work that you're doing here, you know, we laid the foundation with looking at the deep assessment. We laid the foundation with looking at your vision and your life goals, what you want your life to be like. And then we start actually tackling the issues with trigger identification, nervous system regulation, and looking at environmental impacts. Now, you want to create sustainable daily habits, even if it's just a couple of minutes a day, to maintain this new place of calm that you've achieved. You can create a system that works for you, that fits into your lifestyle, that you will actually do. That is key. Anybody can create a system, but if it's too complicated or overwhelming or takes too much time, you're not going to stick to it. And that's where that deep assessment comes in too. We can see, okay, what's your life really like? What's going to fit into it? If you like this video, please like it, comment on here, subscribe, and share it with your friends who might be going through a similar struggle. Have a great day. Much love. I'll see you next time.